The one rule for success is not motivation, it is control. But not control over people first, not control over money first, not control over reputation first, control over attention. Because before a man loses his future, he usually loses his focus. Before he loses discipline, he loses the night. Before he loses respect for himself, he breaks one private promise and calls it harmless. One scroll, one escape, one wasted hour, one more night where the future gets nothing. That is how most men are defeated. Not in a dramatic collapse, not in one public failure, not in one moment where everything falls apart and the world can see it. Most men are defeated privately, quietly, repeatedly, in small moments they refuse to take seriously. A man says he wants success, but his attention says something else. He says he wants money, but his attention belongs to entertainment. He says he wants strength, but his attention belongs to comfort. He says he wants freedom, but his attention belongs to whatever flashes, vibrates, calls, tempts, distracts, or seduces his mind for a few seconds. And this is the part most men do not want to admit. Your goals are not the truth. Your attention is the truth. What you repeatedly give your attention to is what you are actually serving. Not what you claim, not what you post, not what you promise yourself at midnight when you feel guilty. What receives your attention receives your life. Machiavelli understood that a ruler who cannot guard his own territory will eventually be ruled by invaders. Your first territory is not your city. It is not your business. It is not your audience. It is not your money. Your first territory is your mind, and your mind is entered through attention. Every time you give attention to something, you are opening the gate. You are saying, enter, shape me, influence me, feed my thoughts, direct my emotions, decide what I care about next. That is why attention is not a small issue. It is not just productivity. It is not just focus. It is not just time management. Attention is the first kingdom. Lose it, and every other ambition becomes theater. You can talk about discipline. You can talk about wealth. You can talk about becoming respected. You can talk about becoming dangerous, in the sense that you are no longer easy to manipulate. But if your attention is still owned by distraction, your words mean nothing. You are not building power. You are performing ambition while being ruled by noise. This is the modern humiliation. Men say they want freedom while their nervous system is trained by apps. They say they want wealth while their nights are spent watching people who already built something. They say they want strength while their first instinct under pressure is escape. They say they want respect while they cannot sit alone with one serious task for 60 minutes. Do not call that a small weakness. Call it what it is: a loss of command. And a man without command is easy to govern. He can be delayed, he can be triggered, he can be sold to, he can be entertained, he can be divided, he can be pacified. He can be made emotional over things that do not move his life forward. He may still speak of ambition, but his attention votes against it every day. And votes matter. Every hour is a ballot, every night is a referendum, every morning is a transfer of power. So the question is simple. Who gets the kingdom today? The feed, the impulse, the old identity, the comfort addiction, the need for validation, the people who doubt you, the strangers who will never remember your name, or the mission? The answer is not in your words, it is in your attention. Most men are not destroyed by one collapse. They are drained by tiny permissions repeated every night. A short video, a message, a game, a feed, a little rest, a little distraction, a little escape, a little entertainment after a hard day. And because the theft is small, they do not treat it like war. That is why they lose. A man does not notice his future being stolen because the thief comes dressed as comfort. The world does not need to break you if it can distract you. It does not need to defeat your ambition if it can fragment your attention. It does not need to destroy your discipline if it can train your mind to obey every impulse. This is the invisible theft. Your attention is being harvested before your future ever gets to use it. And if you are unsupported, this is even more dangerous, because no one is coming to protect your attention for you. No one is coming to take your phone away. No one is coming to defend your mornings. No one is coming to guard your nights. No one is coming to tell you that your life is leaking through a screen, so you must become the guard. Not because you feel ready, because no one else has been assigned to defend your future. This is where men separate. The weak man waits until life becomes painful enough to force discipline. The serious man creates discipline before pain becomes the teacher. Machiavelli wrote that men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims. Look at the modern world through that sentence. Immediate need is no longer just hunger. It is stimulation. It is relief. It is attention from someone who does not respect you. It is the small emotional reward of checking the phone. It is the comfort of watching someone else live with courage while you postpone your own life. And the deceiver does not need to look like a villain. It can look like an app. It can look like a notification. It can look like outrage. It can look like comedy. It can look like harmless entertainment. It can look like one more night of doing nothing serious. But the result is the same. Your attention is captured and your future is left unfed. Before money, attention. Before skill, attention. Before reputation, attention. Before proof, attention. Before leverage, attention. Because whatever holds your attention long enough begins to shape your identity. If your attention is captured by cheap entertainment, your mind becomes cheap to command. If your attention is captured by comparison, your ambition becomes poisoned. If your attention is captured by resentment, your energy stays trapped in the past. If your attention is captured by comfort, your discipline never gathers enough force to compound. But if your attention is captured by skill, proof, money, behavior, body, reputation, and systems, your life begins to organize around power. This is why a man must stop asking only, "What do I want?" That question is too easy. Every weak man wants something. Ask a harder question. What does my attention keep proving? Because your attention exposes the real ruler. If you say you want to build, but your attention keeps choosing escape, escape is the ruler. If you say you want respect, but your attention keeps chasing approval, approval is the ruler. If you say you want wealth, but your attention keeps avoiding skill, avoidance is the ruler. If you say you want freedom, but your attention keeps surrendering to impulse, impulse is the ruler. Do not lie to yourself. The mind always has a throne. Something is sitting on it. The mission or the weakness, command or comfort, proof or fantasy. And this is why the night matters. The night reveals who owns you. Not what you say in the morning, not what you post online, not what you plan when you feel strong. The night reveals the ruler. Because at night the excuses become seductive. You are tired. No one is watching. The day was hard. You feel behind. You want relief. You want comfort. You want comfort. You want to disappear into something easy. And in that moment, your private identity is exposed. The consumer says, "I deserve escape." The builder says, "I still owe my future one more piece of evidence." That is the separation. The night separates the consumer from the builder. The consumer uses night to numb himself. The builder uses night to prepare the next day. The consumer scrolls until sleep takes him. The builder reviews the day before sleep judges him. The consumer lets the algorithm decide his thoughts. The builder decides what enters his mind before the next morning. The consumer wakes up weaker because he gave the night to impulse. The builder wakes up sharper because he gave the night to command. This matters because wasted nights destroy morning authority. You do not lose the morning only in the morning. You often lose it the night before. You slept too late. You consumed too much. You filled your mind with noise. You escaped instead of preparing. Then you wake up heavy, scattered, reactive, already defeated before the day begins, and then you blame discipline. No. You lost the battle before the alarm rang. The night trained your morning. That is why serious men respect the night. They do not treat it as a dumping ground for weakness. They treat it as the bridge into tomorrow's command. Ask yourself this. What does your night prove? Does it prove you are building, or does it prove you are being owned? Does it prove you have standards, or does it prove your future gets whatever energy is left after distraction eats first? Does it prove you are becoming harder to control, or does it prove that cheap entertainment can still buy your attention for free? This is the test, and most men fail quietly. Not because they are evil, not because they are hopeless, not because they lack potential. They fail because they never created law. Without law, impulse rules. Without structure, distraction enters. Without standards, comfort negotiates. And when comfort starts negotiating with a man who has no inner law, comfort wins. Every time. That is why you need an attention protocol. Not a fantasy, not a vague desire to focus more. A protocol. A set of rules that protects the first kingdom. And before I give you that protocol, understand this clearly. If you are serious about changing and not just watching more videos that make you feel powerful for a few minutes, then you need a place where the message goes deeper than what the public algorithm allows. Most men consume hundreds of ideas, but they never build a system around any of them. If you continue like that, you will feel inspired often and remain unchanged. Inside Patreon, I share deeper, unfiltered lessons on discipline, power, solitude, self-command, and the psychology of becoming a man who no longer waits for permission. If you are serious, join there. If you are not, keep watching from the outside. The decision is yours. Now listen carefully. The first rule is remove low-value inputs. You cannot build a powerful mind while feeding it garbage all day. Low-value input means anything that gives stimulation without strengthening your future. Endless scrolling, pointless arguments, drama, reaction content, random news addiction, videos that trigger envy but do not create action, conversations that lower your standard. People who make weakness feel normal. You do not need to remove every source of entertainment forever. But if you are in a building season, your inputs must be judged. Ask one question. Does this make me sharper, stronger, more skilled, more focused, more useful, or more disciplined? If not, it must be limited. The unsupported man cannot afford a dirty mental environment. He already has resistance. He already has doubt around him. He already has people who do not understand the size of what he is trying to build. He already has days where no one encourages him, no one checks on him, no one rewards his effort, no one claps for his small wins. So he cannot add unnecessary poison. He cannot let random voices colonize his mind. He cannot spend his best emotional energy on people and platforms that would not notice if he disappeared. Protect the inputs. Because what enters you eventually commands you. And a man who lets everything enter his mind should not be surprised when he no longer recognizes his own thoughts. The second rule is create a fixed work block. If your attention has no assigned mission, it will be captured by the nearest distraction. A fixed work block is non-negotiable time where your future receives protected attention. 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours if you can. One go, one space, one tool. No phone, no messages, no task switching, output before consumption. This block is where power begins to compound. Because deep attention applied repeatedly to a valuable skill creates competence. Competence creates proof. Proof creates trust. Trust creates money. Money creates leverage. But it begins with protected attention. Do not underestimate this. A man who can guard 2 focused hours per day against the modern world is already separating himself from the majority. Because most people cannot do it. They are too fragmented, too available, too addicted to interruption, too trained by dopamine, too afraid of silence. They sit down to work, and within 3 minutes their hand reaches for the phone. They try to study, and their mind asks for stimulation. They try to build, and discomfort appears. Then they call it lack of motivation. It is not lack of motivation, it is lack of command. The mind that has been rewarded for escaping cannot suddenly become loyal to a mission. It must be retrained, and the fixed word block is the training ground. Do not make it complicated. Choose one task that can create proof. Writing, studying, selling, outreach, training, building an offer, editing a project, learning a skill, improving a system. Then remove every exit. The phone leaves the room. The tabs are closed. The door is shut. The task is clear. The time is protected. And when the mind begs to escape, you do not negotiate. You stay. This is how attention becomes strength. Not by feeling focused, by refusing to leave when focus becomes uncomfortable. A weak man only works when the work feels good. A serious man works because the work has been assigned. His mood is not the ruler. His mission is. The third rule is train before consuming. Your body must obey before your mind escapes. Training does not need to be complicated. Lift, run, walk, stretch, push, sweat, move. Do something that tells the body you are not the ruler, you are the instrument. This matters because consumption before discipline weakens the day. If the first serious act of the day is passive consumption, your nervous system learns that comfort comes before command. Reverse it. Command before comfort. Movement before scrolling. Effort before entertainment. Training before consumption. You are not doing this for appearance alone. You are doing this to teach the organism obedience. A man who cannot make his body move when it wants comfort will struggle to make his mind work when it wants escape. The body and mind are not separate kingdoms. They train each other. When you move first, you send a signal through the entire system. I decide. Not impulse, not fatigue, not mood, not the phone, not the old identity. I decide. That is the point. The fourth rule is study before scrolling. If you're going to feed the mind, feed it something that strengthens the mission before you let the world invade. Study the skill. Study the market. Study buyers. Study scripts. Study offers. Study sales. Study money. Study the craft you claim will free you. Scrolling gives you fragments. Study gives you weapons. Scrolling makes you reactive. Study makes you precise. Do not confuse information with knowledge. Do not confuse stimulation with learning. Do not confuse saving a post with becoming more competent. Study must lead to execution. Read, extract, apply, build. If it does not become action, it becomes decoration. There are men who know every quote about discipline and still cannot keep one promise to themselves. There are men who watch endless videos about success and still have no proof, no skill, no offer, no body of work, no system, no result. That is not learning. That is intellectual entertainment. And intellectual entertainment is still entertainment. The question is not, did you consume something smart? The question is, did it change your behavior? Did it sharpen your decision? Did it improve your work? Did it make you harder to distract? Did it create evidence? If not, it was just another elegant escape. The fifth rule is, build before escaping. This is the deepest one. Before you escape, create proof. Before entertainment, output. Before comfort, evidence. Before you numb yourself, ask one question. What did I build today? A written page, a script outline, a sample project, a portfolio piece, an outreach message, a proof post, a lead list, a workout, a tracked budget, a clean system, something. The builder earns escape after contribution. The consumer escapes because he cannot face contribution. That difference becomes destiny. If you build before escaping, your life accumulates evidence. If you escape before building, your life accumulates regret. This is not about never resting. Rest is necessary. But rest after obedience is different from escape before responsibility. One restores, the other weakens. A man who has contributed can rest without shame. A man who has avoided his future cannot rest. He can only numb himself. That is why his entertainment does not restore him. It only delays the confrontation. You know this feeling. You watch, scroll, consume, escape, and when it ends, you are not stronger. You are heavier. Because beneath the stimulation, the truth remains. You still did not build. You still did not face the task. You still did not keep the promise. You still did not move the future forward. That is why the escape becomes longer next time. Because now it must cover more guilt. This is how men become trapped. Not because they are incapable, because they keep using distraction to avoid the pain created by distraction. Break the loop. Build before escaping. Give the future proof before you give the body comfort. Now understand the deeper truth. The man who controls his attention controls the raw material of skill. The man who controls skill creates proof. The man who creates proof creates leverage. And leverage is the beginning of freedom. So when you lose attention, you are not just losing time, you are losing the first link in the chain. No attention means no deep practice. No deep practice means no serious skill. No serious skill means no proof. No proof means no trust. No trust means no trust. No money means no leverage. No leverage means no options. No options means you are easy to control. This is why attention is not a small issue. It is the first domino. A distracted man is easy to command. He can be sold to, triggered, entertained, delayed, divided, and pacified. He may speak of ambition, but his attention votes against it every day. And the world does not care what you intended. The world responds to what you repeatedly prove. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand." In modern terms, men judge what they can see. They judge evidence. They judge proof. They judge outcomes. They judge what stands in front of them, not the dream you kept private in your head. Your future will not be built by what you meant to do. It will be built by what received your attention repeatedly. That is why proof matters. Proof is the end of excuses. When you have proof, you no longer need to beg people to understand you. You no longer need to explain your ambition to people who are committed to misunderstanding it. You no longer need to perform potential. You show evidence, a body of work, a skill people can see, a standard people can feel, a reputation that moves before you speak, a discipline that has become visible. That is power, not fantasy, not noise, not motivational identity. Proof. And proof is created by attention under command. So for the next 7 days, run the attention war protocol. First, no phone for the first hour. Your mind must belong to you before it belongs to the world. Second, one fixed work block every day. Minimum 60 minutes. Same time if possible. One task, one output. Third, train before entertainment. Move the body before passive consumption. Fourth, study one skill before scrolling. Even 20 minutes, but it must be connected to your future. Fifth, build one visible proof before escape. One output, one page, one sample, one message, one improvement. Sixth, night review. Ask yourself these questions. What captured my attention today? What did I produce today? Where did I surrender to distraction? What must be removed tomorrow? What is the first task when I wake? Do this for 7 days, and you will see the truth, not the fantasy version of yourself. The real one. You will see what owns you. You will see how often you reach for escape. You will see how uncomfortable you are without stimulation. You will see how weak or strong your internal command really is. Good. Exposure is necessary. You cannot conquer what you refuse to see. The weak man avoids the audit because the audit threatens his self-image. The strong man welcomes the audit because it gives him the battlefield map. Once you know where attention leaks, you can close them. Once you know what steals the night, you can remove it. Once you know what weakens the morning, you can correct it. Once you know what breaks the word block, you can defend it. This is how command is built. Not through fantasy. Through correction. And if you are serious about this, not casually interested serious, then stop treating this as another video to consume. You already know what it feels like to watch many things and still stay in the same place. You collect ideas, but the structure of your life remains unchanged. If you continue that pattern, you will become a man with strong language and weak evidence. Inside Patreon, I go deeper into the unfiltered systems behind self-command, discipline, solitude, power, and building proof when no one supports you. Not comfort, not public-friendly motivation. Practical philosophy for men who are done waiting for permission. If that is you, join there. If it is not, do nothing. The decision is yours. Now hear this clearly. You do not need perfect focus forever. You need more command today than yesterday. You need to stop pretending distraction is harmless. You need to stop giving your best energy to things that will not remember you. The feed will not remember you. The algorithm will not remember you. The strangers you watch will not remember you. The entertainment you consume will not build your future. The comfort you obey will not respect you later. But your proof will remain. Your skill will remain. Your body will remember. Your reputation will compound. Your money behavior will strengthen. Your future will be built by what receives your attention repeatedly. So choose what receives it. Do not wait until your life becomes painful enough to force you. Do not wait until regret becomes louder than discipline. Do not wait until years disappear and you finally understand that the enemy was not only outside you. The enemy was the open gate, the unguarded mind, the night without law, the morning without command, the attention given away for free. Every man wants power when power looks glorious. Few men want the private discipline that makes power possible. But that is where it begins. In the hour no one sees, in the night you protect, in the phone you do not touch, in the work block you do not abandon, in the body you command before it commands you, in the proof you build before you escape. That is where the kingdom is taken back, not all at once, not through a speech, not through a mood, through repeated acts of control. Because the one rule for success is not motivation, it is control. Control your attention or be controlled by everything weaker than your future. Your attention is the first kingdom. Lose it, and every other ambition becomes theater. Guard it, train it, point it, use it, and let your proof speak louder than every excuse you used to worship.